They thought no one was watching. They were wrong. Behind the friendly face of AI chatbot, Claude lies a dark secret, now exposed in a brutal lawsuit. Reddit claims the so-called White Knight of AI, Anthropic, ran a massive, illegal scraping operation for years. This isn't a dispute. This is a war for the soul of the open internet. The social media giant Reddit, home to over 80 million daily active users and hundreds of millions more monthly, has declared war. On June 4, 2025, in the Superior Court of California, they filed a bombshell complaint against Anthropic, the AI company that pitches itself as the industry's moral compass, the so-called White Knight of artificial intelligence. But Reddit says that righteous image is a carefully crafted lie. The lawsuit paints a picture of a company suffering from corporate cognitive dissonance, a company with two faces. There is the public face that preaches about ethics, trust, and the long-term benefit of humanity. And then there is the private one, the one that allegedly ignores any rule, breaks any promise, and crosses any line to line its pockets. This isn't just a corporate squabble. This is a battle over the ownership of your words, your stories, and your ideas. Reddit claims that Anthropic, the creator of the popular AI chatbot Claude, has been running a massive, unauthorized data scraping operation for years, systematically hoovering up the countless conversations of its users to build a multi-billion-dollar empire. We're talking about a digital heist of unprecedented scale, and now the receipts are being laid bare for the world to see. Let's be brutally honest. Anthropic has worked hard to brand itself as the responsible one in the AI gold rush. Founded in 2021 by former OpenAI employees, it incorporated itself as a public benefit corporation, promising to balance profits with its stated mission. They talk a big game about unusually high trust and prioritizing honesty. They even put out public statements claiming they honor industry-standard directives in robots.txt and that it is not their intention to train their models on personal data. According to Reddit's lawsuit, that's all a smokescreen. The complaint alleges that these are nothing but empty marketing gimmicks. Far from avoiding personal data, Reddit claims Anthropic is intentionally trained on the personal data of Reddit users without ever requesting their consent. And that promise to respect the rules? A flat-out lie, Reddit alleges. Here is the bombshell accusation. In July 2024, after being publicly called out, Anthropic claimed it had put Reddit on its block list and stopped its bots from crawling the site. It was a public promise meant to quell the controversy. But Reddit's own logs tell a different, more disturbing story. They allege that Anthropic's bots continued to hammer their servers, attempting to access the platform over 100,000 times in the months that followed. This was no mistake. This was not an oversight. According to Reddit, this was a deliberate, systematic plunder of its most valuable asset, its community. So how did this digital grand larceny allegedly go down? Think of Reddit as a massive, sprawling city of ideas, built over nearly 2 decades since its founding in 2005. Like any city, it has laws. The most important law is the user agreement, a contract that every single visitor, whether human or bot, agrees to just by accessing the site. That agreement has always been crystal clear on 2 points. First, Section 7 prohibits scraping the site without written permission. Second, Section 3 explicitly forbids anyone from commercially exploiting Reddit's content. These aren't hidden in fine print. They are the fundamental terms of entry. Reddit claims Anthropic treated these rules as mere suggestions. As far back as December 2021, Anthropic's own researchers, including its CEO Dario Amodei, were publishing papers admitting they were training their AI on Reddit comments, identifying specific communities as sources of good samples for fine-tuning their models. The lawsuit lists a treasure trove of subreddits, from r/AskScience and r/PersonalFinance to r/WritingPrompts and r/Relationship Advice, all allegedly fed into the machine to teach Claude how to think, talk, and reason like a human. They weren't just taking random data. They were cherry-picking the best, most articulate, most human conversations to build their product. This wasn't for academic research. This was to build a commercial juggernaut. Anthropic launched Claude in March 2023, and it quickly became one of the most popular chatbots in the world, catapulting the company to a staggering valuation of $61.5 billion by early 2025. They secured massive investments from giants like Amazon, which committed a total of $8 billion, and Google, which invested over $3 billion for a reported 14% stake, which in turn began integrating Claude into their own commercial products, like AWS and the new Alexa. And according to Reddit, every dollar of that valuation, every partnership, and every subscription fee is tainted, built on the back of content that was taken, not licensed. This is where the story gets another fascinating layer of palace intrigue. Reddit has entered into legitimate licensing agreements with companies like Google, in a deal reportedly worth $60 million per year. It also has a deal with OpenAI. And here's the detail that complicates everything. OpenAI's CEO, Sam Altman, is one of Reddit's largest individual shareholders, with a stake that has been valued at over $1 billion. This creates a dynamic where one major AI player, OpenAI, has protected, paid for access, championed by an insider with a massive financial interest, while another key competitor, Anthropic, is being sued for trying to take that same data. This isn't just about scraping, it's about who has the power to decide which companies win the AI race. Anthropic, by allegedly refusing to enter into a licensing agreement, has bypassed this entire system of protection. The result is a horrifying ghost in the machine. Your data, even if you deleted it years ago, could be permanently embedded within Claude's neural network, living on as a digital ghost that can be accessed by millions of users, with no way for you to ever get it back. The lawsuit features a stunning transcript of a conversation with Claude itself. When asked if it can access deleted content, the AI admits it can't. But when pressed on how it knows whether the data it was trained on was deleted, it makes a chilling confession. To be fully transparent, I don't actually have a way to know with certainty whether specific data in my training set was originally from deleted or non-deleted sources. It goes on to say its training data could potentially include information that was at some point deleted from its original source, without that deletion status being reflected in my training. Think about what that means. Every personal story, every vulnerable confession, every deleted comment is potentially locked away inside a black box, exploited for profit by a company that claims to be a champion of privacy. It's an irreversible violation, a digital tattoo that users never consented to. Reddit argues that this isn't a victimless crime. The lawsuit details 5 separate causes of action, each painting a picture of profound corporate misconduct. The breach of contract claim is straightforward. Anthropic agreed to the rules and then broke them. The unjust enrichment claim argues that Anthropic made billions from stolen goods. The trespass to chattels claim frames Anthropic's bots as digital invaders on Reddit's private server property, consuming resources and diminishing the experience for legitimate users. Perhaps most damning is the claim of tortious interference with contract. Reddit argues that by scraping deleted content, Anthropic intentionally undermined Reddit's ability to fulfill its privacy promises to its own users, damaging the platform's reputation and user trust. Finally, the unfair competition claim accuses Anthropic of engaging in fraudulent business practices, creating an unlevel playing field by building its product with allegedly stolen materials, while competitors like Google and OpenAI are estimated to have paid a combined $130 million annually for legitimate access. This isn't Anthropic's first time at this rodeo either. The company is already facing lawsuits from authors and music publishers for similar allegations of copyright infringement, painting a picture of a company whose business model may rely on taking first and asking for forgiveness later, if at all. Now Reddit is demanding justice. They are seeking not just monetary damages for the lost licensing revenue and costs incurred, but also restitution for every dollar Anthropic was unjustly enriched by its use of Reddit's data. Most importantly, they are asking the court for an injunction, a legal order to force Anthropic to stop using Reddit data and, incredibly, to remove any technology derived from Reddit content, such as Claude, from commercial use. This would be a corporate death penalty for their flagship product, a move that could send shockwaves through the entire industry. The battle lines have been drawn. This case, Reddit Inc. v. Anthropic, PBC, is more than just a legal filing. It's a shot across the bow of the entire AI industry. It asks a fundamental question. In the race to build the future, do the rules still apply? Can a company preach ethics while its actions suggest otherwise? And who really owns the vast, chaotic, beautiful, and deeply human conversations that make up the internet? The outcome of this fight will echo far beyond the courtroom in San Francisco. It will define the next chapter of the web. Are we entering an era of digital feudalism where our collective knowledge is strip-mined for the benefit of a few powerful corporations? Or will the creators, the communities, and the users finally be able to reclaim what is rightfully theirs? The truth is hiding in plain sight, and this lawsuit is dragging it, kicking and screaming, into the light.